Fred Vasseur has just detonated a verbal bombshell on the Italian press, and the aftershocks are shaking every corner of the paddock. In a blistering tirade delivered during the Canadian Grand Prix, Ferrari's team principal didn't just speak, he erupted. His words, unfiltered, his anger, unmistakable. Vasseur tore into the media for what he called destructive, disrespectful, and completely irresponsible speculation surrounding his potential sacking. And he didn't mince words. He's also accused journalists of fueling national upheaval, spreading terror among the personnel, and chasing clicks instead of reality, all while Ferrari is already weathering colossal internal stress. But this is no longer some melodramatic press conference. This is a war of the presses, and it's piling yet more pressure on a team already teetering. Vasseur's authority is questioned. The performances aren't materializing, and now, the same media that once helped sculpt Ferrari's mythic status has turned its sights on him. It's open season, but the Italian press? They didn't flinch. In a lightning-fast counter-strike, the official journalists' union came out swinging, defending their role, their freedom to report, and firing back at Vasseur's attempt to shift the blame. All this chaos is occurring while Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc present a picture book public unity, united as the team goes deeper into crisis. The pressure is coming to the boil, the script is unraveling, and this latest explosion, it could very easily be the final straw. So, if you haven't already, crack on and like this video, subscribe, and join us until the end. Because what we are about to expose will flip everything that you thought you knew about Ferrari's behind-the-scenes implosion on its head. Now, during a visit to Montreal, the volcano finally erupted. Fred Vasseur, usually level-headed, cool and unflappable, delivered what can only be described as a toxic counterpunch. He did not mention names, but he made one thing absolutely and frighteningly clear. He's done playing games. He blamed segments of the Italian media for spreading falsehoods, undermining team morale, and infecting the Ferrari environment with irresponsible rumor-mongering. And this wasn't just about invented news. It was about real consequences, human consequences. Vasseur went out of his way to make it sting. These headlines were stinging the people, the engineers, mechanics, planners, who work around the clock to keep Ferrari running. These were not the words of a man standing in self-defense. These were the words of a war commander. He blamed the media circus for inundating Ferrari headquarters with so much worry, so much misinformation, that it was strangling decision-making and sucking the morale dry. Ferrari did not merely need to have a quicker car. They needed a cure for the maelstrom of rumors engulfing them. But that was merely the start. The Italian Union of Car Writers, UIGA, shot back with a public release as tart, as fervent. They flatly denied Vasseur's assertion that his irritation gave him license to lash at the art of journalism itself. They reminded all, journalists don't drive for Ferrari. Their role isn't to protect reputations, it's to seek truth, even when that truth is repulsive, even when that truth burns. Yes, they admitted sensationalism. Not every story is literature. But when a team is flailing, when leadership is on trial, it's not only fair game to report it, it's a responsibility. Because if everyone just wrote about race wins and PR-coiffed sound bites, the stories that matter, the ones that redefine teams, careers, and legacies, would never get written. And so, this rivalry has been the season's biggest off-track flame war. From Montreal to Maranello, everyone's talking. Engineers, rival team bosses, even drivers. But the conversation isn't just about who's right. It's about what this war reveals about Ferrari's mindset. Are they breaking under the weight of expectation? Is Vasseur slipping out of control? Or is this his bold last stand, pushing back against a toxic media environment? And what adds even more intrigue? The deafening silence and unwavering loyalty of Ferrari's two drivers. Lewis Hamilton, fresh off his grand celebrity debut, has so far kept himself elegantly removed from the chaos. He could have said, "This isn't my fight," but instead he's chosen to stand by Vasseur in multiple interviews. He's spoken about the calm authority Vasseur brings to the garage, the strategic intelligence he sees behind the scenes, and the trust he believes the team must build, not tear down, during tough times. Charler, whose entire career has been intertwined with Ferrari's rise and fall, has also refused to engage in media attacks despite having every reason to be frustrated with poor strategy, missed opportunities, and now swirling rumors about the team's leadership. He hasn't fed the flames. On the contrary, has quietly made it known that he respects the job Vasseur is doing, that he believes in stability, and that amid the madness, Ferrari needs less drama, not more. That support coming from two of the biggest names on the grid isn't just PR fluff, it's a calculated move because both drivers know that if the team fragments now, the 2026 project is in danger. Development for the new regulations must be unified. Leadership must be trusted, and if Vasseur is pushed out by the media or by a panicked boardroom, it could derail everything Ferrari has been building. But despite their backing, the reality on the ground is far more fragile. Ferrari staff are reportedly demoralized. Engineers complain of indecision and pressure from above. Technical plans are being revised constantly, and the mood inside the factory is described as tense, confused, and nervous. And this feud with the media is only adding to the chaos. The pressure isn't going away. Every race weekend, every failed upgrade, every slow pit stop becomes another headline. And now, with the media and team principal locked in a public battle, Ferrari's ability to focus on the task at hand, winning, is under serious threat. What's worse, even if the team were to find sudden performance, the off-track distractions could still unravel their progress. This story has become far more than just a clash between a team boss and the press. It's now a full-blown test of Ferrari's institutional strength. Can they weather the storm? Can Vasseur hold on to the trust of his drivers, his engineers, and the boardroom, all while facing a hostile press corps? Or will the headlines eventually become a self-fulfilling prophecy? The answer may decide not only Vasseur's future, but Ferrari's direction for years to come. Because in Formula One, perception shapes reality, and right now, the perception is that Ferrari is wobbling, and wobbling teams don't win world championships. So now the question is no longer just whether Fred Vasseur overreacted, it's about what his reaction reveals. Because when a team principal at Ferrari, the most historic and emotionally charged team in Formula One, goes to war with the media in public, it's not a simple matter of frustration. It's a signal that the internal pressure has reached a breaking point, a signal that leadership is no longer just about results. It's about perception control and survival. And as this narrative unfolds, the implications stretch far beyond the walls of Maranello. If Vasseur's authority is being challenged not only by disappointing performances, but also by a relentless media machine, then the stability of Ferrari's entire project comes into question, because Formula One is not just about building a fast car. It's about building belief in a vision, in a plan, in leadership. When that belief starts to fracture, everything else can follow for Lewis Hamilton. This drama adds yet another layer to what was already the most scrutinized team switch in recent memory. He didn't come to Ferrari for comfort. He came for glory, for legacy. And yet just months into the season, he's found himself in a team caught between ambition and chaos. His public defense of Vasseur is not just an act of loyalty, it's a calculated effort to steady the ship, to reinforce unity, to remind everyone that championships are not won by tearing down your own house. And then there's Charles Leclerc. The Monegasque has seen the highs and lows of Ferrari more intimately than anyone. His silence on the media controversy is powerful because it suggests a quiet understanding of what's truly at stake. This isn't about taking sides in a media dispute. It's about protecting the foundation of the team he's committed his future to. If Ferrari implodes now, everything Leclerc has fought for could be lost in the noise. But here's the uncomfortable truth. The Italian press isn't going to stop. They are relentless, passionate, and deeply embedded in the culture of Ferrari, and in many ways they reflect the pressure of the Tifosi themselves, millions of fans desperate to see their team return to glory. When Ferrari fails, it's not just a sporting disappointment, it's a national crisis, and that pressure becomes inescapable. So where does this leave us in a moment of deep uncertainty? Vasseur remains in charge for now. Hamilton and Lair remain united for now. But behind the scenes, the storm is far from over. Every journalist in the paddock will be watching his next move. Every word will be analyzed, every rumor amplified. The tension isn't going away. It's only getting worse. And that's why this story matters so much, because it's not just about Vasseur or Ferrari or the media. It's about what happens when pressure, expectation, and narrative collide in a team that lives under a global microscope. It's about the fragility of leadership, the weight of legacy, and the cost of failing to deliver. So tell us, do you think Vasseur was right to draw a line in the sand? Is this the fight Ferrari needed to have, or is it proof that the team is beginning to unravel under the weight of its own ambition? Drop your thoughts in the comments.